up for our next matchup, and then we're going to start diving into those playoffs. So we just got some of Group A. The reality here for Group B, this is what's going down. So the winner of this series will win the group, and the loser of this series will finish second place in the group. And the winner goes straight to the semi-finals, and second place will have to play against Scarlet in one of the play-in matches, which we'll be casting coming up next as well. So basically the loser of this plays Scarlet in the first of the playoff matches, which we'll start to cover. This is just kind of skimming through the best of the group stage today, otherwise we'd be here for way longer than I can actually be here, because I've been awake a long time already, because I had to travel home from Switzerland today before coming into cast. So it's been a long day. Otherwise I'd love to have gone through all of the groups and all of the games one by one and finally get to the playoffs, but we're just doing kind of like a skimming best of group stage cast while then doing the entirety of the playoffs. That also means that the playoffs will be cast at a pretty reasonable time for both EU people and stuff like that. Alright guys, the top left hand side, our red Protoss player is herO. And he's going up against the blue Zerg to the bottom right hand side from Jinner. This is of course a Rogue. What a matchup this is, a PvZ, which honestly has so much rivalry behind it now. I mean, we talk about them playing in the GSL Super Tournament Finals, the IEM Shanghai Finals last year. These guys really worked up a bit of a rivalry between them, and Rogue just kept nipping ahead of herO in each of those series time and time again. Probe comes in. I'm just going to be seeing the Nexus dropping down, the natural Cybercore coming up in the front as well. I really don't want to talk about this. I am really going to just out of rule where talking about mods decisions at all in any way is going to be just timed out. We had this, I don't know what's happened the last 2 weeks, but everyone just seems to think it's cool to come in just be like, wah, I was an absolute twat and I got timed out for a second. I just can't believe this channel would do that to me when I am not paying a thing to watch it. Just fuck off and don't talk, because clearly we don't want you here if you're just going to be an absolute cunt. Oh, God. Just shut up, guys. Just fucking talk normally. Talk about the game. Jesus. I'm so sick of this conversation that we have again and again and again. Every single time. Every single stream weeks. Alright. PvZ, and we do see a bit of a standard opening. We didn't really see a standard opening at all in the PvZ between Neeb and Scarlet. We saw like a double Stargate play, which was a little bit different. As we are going to be seeing this probe coming back up towards the upper left-hand side. It's going to be seeing link speed is about halfway done. It's going to be seeing a few links gathering together, and just looking to try and jump on that Adept perhaps, as we do see the Queen trying to get in and help here. And it does get a little bit of damage done. Adept does get pushed away. Shades out. herO kind of gets some info, has seen the third hatch of course, so he kind of sees what's going on. And we are going to be seeing the Phoenix just going to jump on towards that Overlord, as the Oracle will come in to follow this up. So far, kind of as we expect here on Neon Violet, it's one of those maps where you will see the Protoss players going up to fast free bases. You know, whether they take this back base or feel a bit more adventurous going out here, it kind of depends on how many kind of, you know, gates they go up to originally. And actually a second Stargate already, well there you go. This isn't quite the most common of builds either, because when you saw Neeb doing this, that was a more standard way of going double kind of Stargate play. You know, the 3 gateways into double Stargate at once. Going to second Stargate after an Oracle is very interesting. I wonder what he's going to build. Yeah, I was going to say, is he going to build like more Oracles? This is really not in the meta anymore. Yes, it was maybe at the end of last year, but this really hasn't been meta to build like mass Oracle for quite some time now. So this is kind of interesting here as this Phoenix gets ready to go, and we are just going to be seeing this Queen poking away at that Phoenix, just pushing it out in towards the center. Lair is about halfway done as well. The Oracle continue to come up on the main base, and we are going to be seeing the pylon. It's also going to be finishing in the next few moments. So yeah, double Oracle on the way out. Very different to kind of the double Stargate play with Phoenix that we saw Neeb doing earlier. And it's interesting because this just doesn't really do... it just doesn't really kind of work so much anymore, you know? Those Hydras, they're so good nowadays, and we see Rogue just going straight into Hydras. So we'll see how he deals with this. We'll see how much damage herO can get dealt, but as he takes the third Nexus, I mean, that's the thing. It's not like these Oracles are taking the third Nexus super quick, right? Third Nexus is coming down. 5 minutes is not super fast at all, especially for being in this upper left-hand base. It's in the very safe base, right? So yeah, it doesn't really give him an advantage there. I mean, I think the biggest thing it gives him is maybe the kind of the catching of Rogue off guard. Rogue doesn't see it coming, but you'll see it for circling now. And seeing multiple oracles like this, I think you just add on. Look at the map control! Oh my god, those lings are everywhere! Look at the mini-map! Lings are everywhere at the moment, and that just means he sees so much. Immediately starts to move them towards the upper left as he sees the oracles coming in, realizing there might not be as much on the ground if there's been a big investment into Stargate-based units, and the oracles across the map means they're not at home to defend, so the lings over here will try and see what they can do. Oracles will dive in towards the third base. A queen will get lifted by the Phoenix. Triple oracle fighting with a spore crawler underneath as well. It gets pushed away. It's not really enough damage by herO. Those lings are still going huge over here. We do see the sentry being warped in. That will be a save. And as the sentry will be able to save the day here, these lings will not do too much more. But a good defense by Rogue on the same time on the other side of the map. Being able to just stop our pro display from doing much with the initial wave of oracles already slows down a lot of this. He only lost one queen. Now he still has good anti-air. Now he'll be gathering his hydras together. Double spawn in the main base, for example. And we are going to see those hydras just continue to pop up in towards the main. See what they can do next. So they're going to be able to turn around. We do see the Phoenix and the Oracles just pulling back in towards the center. Lings coming through, and we're just going to be seeing them continue to fight against a few more of these probes. Flea Picking is going to be finishing up a third Stargate coming in as well. And again, just going to be seeing an Infestation Pit dropping down on the back of this natural, but cancels and goes into Aspire instead. I guess the idea here from Rogue is maybe to hit a bit of a +1, maybe like a Hydra Corruptor timing or so against the initial carriers coming out. herO just going straight through to carriers, and so it's the one way that I can see this working, because after investing so much, obviously, he built the third Stargate and the Fleet Beacon, but before then, because he invested so much into the Oracles, he's, the rest of his tech was very delayed. The carriers now, well, let's see if he can get enough up in time. The fast Corruptors really do worry me just a little bit. We'll see how that goes. Again, the Oracle's coming down here. Phoenix doing some damage done wherever possible. That's going to be seeing the Graviton Catapult is on its way up as well. So that upgrade coming through Spire, coming down the back of the Natural as well. And we are going to be seeing the Sentry on the way up. Again, the Oracles are still just around. For a while, I feel like these Oracles were keeping the Hydras at home to give time for the carriers to get out, and in fairness, there's going to be a couple of carriers here, but I don't really think 2 carriers is that scary. Phoenix lifts a Queen, he kills one of the Spores, but he doesn't really have the Oracle numbers to really do this effectively. One Oracle's gone down, now make that 2, make this 3, because the Queens are here. herO's just lost so many of these Oracles, and that really wasn't quite what he would have wanted, as we're going to be seeing. Well, this is a cancel on the 4th base, just straight up, and honestly, nothing you can do about that. Sees the Interceptors now. Again, he didn't go high if he went for the Spire, and that really indicates a more aggressive sort of approach to these carriers, where you're probably looking to kind of fight on in and take the engagement when they're in low numbers and the Interceptors are manageable with Hydras, rather than anything else. Now, the Spire's up, but no use of it yet. No Corruptor production, not even a +1 attack upgrade. We can do either. A +1 attack helps you target down the carrier super quick. +1 Carapace will do a lot in terms of kind of tanking Interceptor shots. I think the plan here from Rogue is just to hit an attack with +1 flyer attack. Boom, Corruptors come in, they target down one carrier, then the next. Doesn't matter how much damage they take, because once the carriers are gone, the Hydras on the ground will clean on up afterwards. I'm just going to be seeing again those Hydras continue to come onto the left-hand side. The carrier number's getting there. There's a few up right now, 3 of them, and 2 more about to finish. That's 5. So we're really getting in towards the kind of carrier numbers that can really deal damage. They have +1 flyer attacks, which helps out a bit as well, but man, look at the Corruptor numbers coming out from Rogue. And this is the crazy thing about playing pure Stargate. The Zerg can just sort of play pure air themselves. They don't have to have an answer to the Archons on the ground and all of that, because they don't exist in this scenario. And so, Rogue can really get away with building a lot more Corruptors initially than you would usually see. Hydra's doing some damage to the Oracle there, pushing her way to the left. Another few Corruptors coming through. And we are just going to be seeing creep spread from Rogue continue to come out in towards the center. +2 flyer attack is coming in on the Cybernetics core. Another couple of Void Rays will start up as well. So just getting those out into production and bringing them in here, as we do have this Oracle is looking to try and dive on in towards the main base. See what it can get up to. So you see one of the hatcheries coming down the gold, and we actually get to see this Queen just poking that probe away. So Queen pokes that probe away, and as that happens, we do just see Rogue with some Lings and some Hydras from the left-hand side of the carriers. The right-hand side getting picked off there. Corruptors coming in. Gets one of the carriers just to the right of the main. Now starts the caustic spray down the main nexus. Carriers will come in, but do the corruptors just sort of turn around and fight? What do? They're sticking on the nexus. He'll get the nexus kill and turn around now. At the same time, Hydras and Lings are pushing the fourth base. And well, that just came up, but all the anti-air is in the, or all the kind of the main force of the process in the main in form of carriers. I'm just going to be seeing these Hydras continue to kind of fight here. You're going to see a Zealot, a few more depths. The sentries continue to come on forwards now. I'm just going to be seeing those interceptors going off onto the Hydras and a couple more getting picked off here. Corruptors are starting to come back in with the rest of the army. He lost a few Corruptors to kill that main Nexus. Let's see what he can do right now as he goes for the first carrier shut down. It takes a while for him to target one because he doesn't really have an amazing number of Corruptors. And the Void Ray is coming in with Prismatic Alignment doing good damage too. He'll lose a second carrier, but he's lost pretty much every Corruptor here. Still a few carriers left over, enough to push those few Hydras on the ground away. And herO will hold on. Still building Void Rays, realizing that his main threat at the moment is definitely those Corruptors, but may go in towards, he actually cancels and starts at more Void Rays. What? That doesn't make any sense. I thought he was just going to cancel and start building carriers again because he sort of felt like, well, I killed enough, I killed enough of those, do I really need more? Maybe not. Alright. Well, we're all going to be seeing to the top side, a lot of Lings going to be run towards the natural Corruptors and Hydras. Pushing in towards the fourth base yet again. This time the Lings are going to get through, and that's a run by that's going to be very difficult to deal with when you only have 2 warp gates to warp in from. So that's going to be very dangerous here as these Lings will get to work. If they can get rid of the power on a couple of those Stargates, slow down carrier or Void Ray production even further, obviously that just gives more time for this Hydra Corruptor force to be even more successful. Never mind the probes that are going down. The delay on these Stargates producing, that alone is huge here as we do see, well, herO is still pushing this back over to this left-hand side. Sentries coming forwards, not using any Guardian Shield just yet. There it is. I feel as though, again, herO pushes that with fairly decent success. Finally, these run-bys are dealt with. herO still sits around 70 workers. This Nexus finally about to finish rebuilding the main power regained on the Stargates. Again, another few Lings coming through, another couple Corruptors coming up. 11 more Banes currently being produced right now. +2 flyer attack, +2 missile attack on the way as well from our Zerg players. We take a moment or two to catch our breath and to think about how this game might turn out. I mean, there's so much more commitment to a ground army now. Lingbane Hydra, just a few Corruptors to support. There isn't really anything on the ground here, but I wonder if that's because there's more Void Rays. With the Void Rays, if you can have the Hydras around just underneath the Voids just don't do damage fast enough. Let's see what happens here as we are going to be seeing these Lings and Banes pushing in the sentries with a force field or 2 to help out initially. Pushes some Banes away. He'll actually get some good damage done onto the mineral line there. Banes explode and don't quite kill that Nexus. They get it low though as it was hidden there by the mothership for just a moment or two. Some Overseers coming up, realizing now detection will be an important part of these fights. Rogue needs enough of them in every single one of these, as we are going to be having this Lingbane Hydra army Corruptors as well off over to the left-hand side, and a few more Banes warping in, or morphing in. We do see Rogue wants to keep on attacking. He doesn't want to give this up just yet as he pushes in towards the fourth base, so here we go. First pylons going down. Again, good force fields initially to block out those Banes away from the sentries on the ground. As we do see the mothership falls, Corruptors are targeting down the carriers. The Hydras on the ground are actually doing quite a lot. As the Corruptors target down, or being targeted by the Interceptors, we actually see the Hydras getting a lot of time to kind of just deal with the Interceptors. So suddenly the Interceptor numbers aren't so crazy. The Hydras feel as though they're kind of broken through here a little bit. I feel this might have just been a few too many Void Rays, and then again, targeting the Corruptors has meant that the Hydras and Queens, they just had so much time to deal with those Interceptors, and now the Interceptor numbers really aren't that crazy. A few Lings running by, Shield Barrier keeps us alive, but not forever. That's going to end very soon. A few Queens will end up being pushed away, but Rogue, you know, we haven't even looked at Rogue's side of the map in so long because we haven't needed to, but he's got 7 bases up. He's got his entire corner of the map covered in creep. He's got all the economy he can dream of with 87 drones. And herO, he's now lost the 4th base in that last attack. He lost a whole bunch more probes. He's down to 42. His economy isn't there to keep rebuilding. Even the Interceptors, he will struggle to keep on building at this rate. And so Rogue is in this position where, you know, he can tell it as well. You know, he's starting to get his Spore Crawlers in position at the front. And he's just taking a moment to sit back and just, you know, sort of just soak in the kind of economy that 86 drones gives you. But, you know, pop out a few more Corruptors, pop out a few more Hydras, and just get ready for this next large attack whenever you can. Well, carriers and Voids up in the skies here, going to be moving down towards the bottom right-hand side. And herO is well, going to try and take the low ground base now. I don't mind that. It's definitely a bit of a different position that will probably help him out compared to anything else. 9 Hydras currently on the way through. We do see a couple of changes. Let's just go and look at that army, and here we go. So a lot of interceptors, the queens, the corruptors, and spores are fighting, and the corruptors are targeting down the carriers, and that's what they do best. Prismatic alignments popped on the void rays, and that's where Rogue just takes his exit until that drains away. Once that has gone away, it's a little bit easier, unless he just goes in and kills the void rays. It's one way to do this as well. The corruptors don't really exist anymore, but there's so much Hydra Queen on the ground. Is there enough to push on through? I mean, again, the interceptors just disappear so quickly, it feels like, because there's no support, there's no storms to get rid of these Hydras. You know, that's the issue. It's just been pure air, and that just doesn't work in this scenario. GG. Rogue takes game 1 of this best of 3, and he will go up against herO. This. As we jump into game number 2 to the bottom left-hand side. This is our red Protoss player. It is herO. And to the top right, our blue Zerg is Rogue. Happens day after day, but no changes made. Well, maybe that's because we don't need to make changes, because before we had these rules, chat was actually a massive shitfest, and actually, chat was fine for the last couple of months until people have decided to take it upon themselves to judge our mods and the job they do. So, I don't know, man. Hate the mods as much as you want. It's much better than when it does get out of hand and it does get stupid and people just decide to get into stupid fights all of the time. It's really silly. Anyways. Can I ask your opinion of the new maps? Asks, I think that was Nashi Twitches, I think I saw just before it went off my screen. The new map pool, I don't want to talk about it. It's kind of depressing. It's awful. It's absolutely terrible. I don't think there's a single good thing about it. I just don't have anything good to say about it. I'm so disappointed that in 2018, we are still creating map pools full of just bad maps. We've got so much more maps with more potential that are around, that have been made regularly. And we end up with this map pool that's going to once again be said to be a terrible map pool. People are going to complain about it all season long. We're going to have a Game 7 of the GSL, of all these other kind of tournaments, WCS, decide on freaking stupid maps again. Nah, new map pool is dreadful, and I will say that again and again, because I truly do not believe at least 4 of those maps just don't deserve in the map pool. It's silly. Alright, so that's I guess in the end that is my opinion on the map pool. Spawner pool finishes up though. On the brighter side of life, we do have this probe having some cute micro wars with the drone. Drone buddy has to come and help out. Probe is just a little bit too strong with their shield regen. As you're going to see this probe moving out. And back in towards the center a little bit. Nexus is obviously coming up on the natural of herO, and he does throw down a Stargate now in the main. And we're just going to be seeing a few Zerglings on the way up. Queen coming through as well, Link Speed coming in. And a Baneling Nest as well. Ooh. 20 drones. Baneling Nest. And I spell it out for you guys. Banelings. Protoss Wall. Bye bye. Boom. It's going to be a bit of a Bane bust here from Rogue in the next few moments. So, looking to be aggressive in game 2. Now, I love it. The Rogue's always good at this sort of stuff. Like, the kind of, you know, the dirty builds that kind of just sneak on into the series when he's, like, ahead. He's like, okay, you know, here's the Bane bust. What are you going to do about that? It's kind of cool. Adept sees a few links on the high ground, but not any more than I think he would, you know, usually see. He doesn't know about these links around the side, I don't think. So, here we go. Let's see what's going to happen. As you do see that link speed coming up, and we're just going to be seeing Baneling Nest about to finish as well. Again, those few links coming down the left-hand side, and they're the ones that are going to morph into the Banelings, because those are the ones that are unscouted, so it's very easy for them to morph in on this side of the map. herO can't really do anything about them. He's actually going to morph them in quite far away, I have to say, all the way up above the third base. He really wants to keep them away from the Oracle, obviously, and right now he kind of wants to bait the Oracle to use its Pulsar Beam so that it doesn't have energy to help deal with the bust when it comes through. And if you could just bait that out right now, that would be absolutely amazing. He doesn't get it. hero's a little bit too smart for that, but that said, the Oracle now moves across the map at the worst possible time because suddenly these Banes are going to show up, and now he's in trouble. There's no sentry. There's no protection at all. The Banes are going to come to this ramp, and oh, he doesn't want to lose the Adepts. What do you do, actually? I don't really know. Oh my god, the probes are next to all the Banelings. Okay, that was a really clutch lift on one of these Banes here. But at the end of the day, does it even matter? There's going to be so many Lings. The Oracle has energy still as it finally gets back. The probes are still taking some hits, and that Baneling intercepts the probe line as it moves across. The pylon going down here means the gates are unpowered. And as the gates are unpowered, there's just normal production. A second Oracle on the way. You know, a second Oracle will do the job eventually, but there's just so many probe losses before then that you just can't really recover from that. Okay, right now he's just now dropped below the worker count, but there's so many Lings coming in, and I think hero's in a little bit of trouble, honestly. This first Oracle's about to run out of energy. Obviously, the second Oracle pops, and it doesn't have tons of energy. So that's not going to be amazing here, as we're going to be seeing those Lings coming back around the side of the main base. We're just going to be seeing another Oracle on the way up. More Lings just jumping in towards the mineral line. And again, just going to be seeing that pylon under attack once again. And so you are going to be seeing that pylon going to go down. I mean, yeah, you got no energy on your oracles. You're going to lose oracle production. You already lost your gateway production. GG, and Rogue takes it.